Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It is a very cold and gloomy Saturday afternoon where I am. It's a kind of day where you might want to tuck yourself in bed or somewhere cozy in front of a fire with a good book. And today we have two books that we're going to talk about. They may not be good books, but I think both of them are going to do quite well if they ever see the light of day. Just for the sake of curiosity, people will be buying them, or at least wanting to know what's in them. The first one is the book, the memoir, as many people call it, Meghan's memoir that she's allegedly writing. Tom Bauer says she's busy bashing away at the keyboard, according to his information. She's got big offers on the table. It's going to make her very rich, this book. Neil Sean, also talking about it recently, said that we all know she hasn't signed NDAs because she proudly told the world that in the Cut interview with that poor Alison woman who promptly got fired. And then Neil Sean says that Meghan is so desperate to refute two very damaging stories about her. The Making Catherine Cry story about the dress fitting, Charlotte's dress, and the bullying story. She's so desperate to refute those that she is allegedly, there's one of those, going to print actual emails, text messages and stuff in the book. And of course that would open the floodgates if she did that, because people who had actually signed NDAs would be free to refute whatever she claimed or print their own emails, especially if she's doctored the emails, and she has form with that. The Queen's speech about the Commonwealth was doctored in that infamous documentary. Very important sections of it were edited out, so it made it sound a whole lot different than it was. So if she prints doctored emails, then I suppose the people who actually were involved could print their own versions of the emails, and it might end up in court. Of course, defamation, all kinds of things possible. And on that note, British psychic Craig Hamilton Parker, he popped up in my YouTube feed today. I guess anything Harry and Meghan related is going to pop up in my YouTube feed. And fuel the obsession. But he said that apart from still seeing divorce, on track for divorce next year, but he said he sees that Meghan is writing a book. He wasn't prompted to discuss this. Someone just said, what's the latest on the Parkle saga? And he said, Meghan is writing a book, but he sees she's going to hit legal issues, and that her book is either going to be cancelled or delayed because of this. So there we go. There we have it. All of that to tell you that I have got the Pulp Tarot on the tarot table, Pulp Fiction, I guess. But the Pulp Tarot, we're going to have a look at this. We're going to look at Meghan's book. We're going to ask the Tarot how she's doing, why she's writing it. We're going to ask about the various stories, the Catherine story, what Meghan is going to say about it, and the truth of the story. We're going to ask about the bullying allegations. What's Meghan going to say about it, and what is the truth of the story? And we're going to finally want to know from the Tarot if she's going to hit legal trouble. Buffy going to hit legal buffers. Buffy, she's called in certain quarters, on Lipstick Alley. And what else do I want to say? Yes, of course, it's tarot for fun and entertainment, and it's all opinion and speculation. And I read energy here, archetypal energy, and of course there is a disclaimer in the box below. So book time, book story, cuddle up, and let's see what universe has to tell us. And as usual, Fluffy has arrived for entertainment, and it's quite amazing how she suddenly appears when I start doing these readings. Quite weird. Anyway, there we go. I do miss the poor old dog who used to bark at strategic moments and tell me that I was onto something. But Fluffy's doing her best to to fill in those giant paws that she has to fill. Anyway, okay. tarot deck has now collapsed. That's a good sign. It tells me that the energy is ready to jump out of these cards and onto the tarot table. I'm going to shuffle this energy in through one more time. Ooh, nearly had to go under the tarot table to fetch that card. Went flying off. And oops, let's see. Oh, it's just all collapsing now. Let's see what's going on. Last day of Invictus Games today. We're waiting with bated breath to see what ghastly outfit she is going to wear at the final ceremony, the closing ceremony, where she no doubt will make a speech which no one wants to hear. She's so far trotting around today in a cream outfit, the usual non-matching cream, with sort of culotte type things that are hooked up to her armpits, which is quite a startling sight, I have to say. And I'm no fashion fundy, I'm not Ibble Dibble, I'm not Beebs Kelly. But anyway, we have a writing card. Page of Swords. And it's a Page of Swords in reverse. That is Clapback, my friends. That is Clapback. It's mean, it's vicious, it's kept the email chains, it's possibly even doctoring the email chains as we speak, that little Page of Swords. When the swords are down, it means there can be some skullduggery. You might not be getting the truth. Swords upright, truth. Swords swords down in reverse, not true. But somebody is busy. Somebody has got plenty to say, but it's for the time being secret. It's pretty vicious. It's cruel and cutting. And as I say, there is a whole ton of stuff that she has kept. She kept her diaries, her journal. She's probably recorded things secretly in reverse here, secret recordings. Oh my. Okay, so it tells us we're on the money anyway. First card out, proper card, situation we're dealing with, just gives us an idea of the tone of the reading. And we have another communication card, the Page of Pentacles. Whew. So 2 pages out here, bookending this reading. Page of Pentacles is about deals, negotiations, contracts. It's the student. It's learning things. It's in reverse. It tells me that for all the stories about the big money on the table, might not be. Negotiations might not be going very well, possibly for the very reason that we're talking about here in this reading, and that people fear illegal repercussions of anything Meghan Markle writes. And why would that be? They know she's a liar. She lied blatantly on Oprah. She lied in court. She lied about helping Omid Scobie with his first book, and then had to apologize to the court. Otherwise should be thrown in the cells for what's it, perjury. I don't know if they throw you in the cells for perjury in Britain, but anyway, she perjured herself. So she's a known liar. She's lied and lied and lied, and so I don't think that there is big money on the table. Page of Pentacles in reverse. But anyway, first column here, how's the writing going? Is she busy bashing away at it? She's apparently going to write it herself. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. That's a work card, but it's a working card in reverse. Either she's working obsessively on it with that 8 of Pentacles energy. It's don't stop to eat, drink, sleep, just type away, bash, bash, bash. 8 of Pentacles. Or she's finding it quite difficult. She hasn't quite got the hang of it with that 8 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm inclined to think hasn't quite got the hang of it. I don't think that she's the kind of person who has ever applied herself to anything except climbing the greasy pole. That's my opinion of her. So when it comes to actually showing up every day and sitting in front of a computer, we know that she sits in front of that laptop of hers at that weird table, which is apparently their office, with piles of the bench stacked around. She did manage to write that, but I mean, that was, well, ChatGPT could have written a million times better book than she did. But anyway, she managed that. Her heart went thump, thump, thump. But writing an actual book, quite different, as I know, who have actually written books and screenplays. You have to show up every day. You can't show up with a hangover. You've got to show up sober, and you've got to sit on your behind all day. It's quite uncomfortable. It's quite painful. It doesn't necessarily always go well. Even if you have secret recordings, emails, tapes, secret footage that you've filmed in places you shouldn't have, and you've got an axe to grind, which our Page of Swords certainly has. It doesn't necessarily go well. So I think she's struggling to get this out. She apparently is writing herself, not prepared to get a ghostwriter. Would have to shell out $1 million for a ghostwriter. That's what Harry's ghostwriter got paid, apparently. Maybe they don't have $1 million for a ghostwriter, but she's struggling, I would say. She's struggling to actually do this very well. So anyway, my heart bleeds, as it often does in these readings. What's her motivation for doing this? Her intention? What's grinding? A Wheel of Fortune. Okay. She wants to set the record straight. She wants to spin the wheel in her direction again. Get back on the lucky side of the road rather than the unlucky side. So she wants her big payday, of course. That's very obvious from the Wheel of Fortune, which, as I say here, doesn't look very promising. And it also doesn't look very promising with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, that even though she maybe have thought that she'd make lots of money for it, so far no offers. Interesting. But anyway, it's about money. It's about changing the narrative, because the Wheel of Fortune is a turning point. The wheel is spinning one way, and then you stop it and you spin it the other way. And if you're at the bottom of the wheel, you spin up and you get to the top of the wheel. So it's two things. She wants to change the narrative. She wants to change her luck, but she really wants the big payday. So mostly money. Not a surprise. It does seem to be a massive motivation for her. So how about the Catherine story? What is she going to say about Catherine and who made who cry? What is she going to say? Ooh, Six of Swords. In reverse, this says it was a terribly difficult relationship, and it's a situation that it never healed and it never resolved. She wasn't welcome, and she travelled all the way, because it's travel, it's international travel. She came into the bosom of the royal family, and she wasn't received. She wasn't welcome as a foreigner, as a stranger who didn't know the ways of the land. And she wasn't shown how to curtsy, she wasn't shown how to wear a hat, and I don't know what else, wear proper underwear. Apparently you don't in America, being sarcastic, and tights, and what else, I don't know, but she felt like an unwelcome stranger with that card, with the Six of Swords. That's the angle she's going to take. Catherine didn't invite me to go shopping. And we in America, we're very touchy-feely. We hug. When we first meet, we go around barefoot in people's houses. We go arm in arm to Wimbledon. We share lip gloss. Catherine wouldn't have any of that. She was cold. She was unfeeling. She rejected my advances, and I was trapped in that situation. And eventually I had to get back on a private jet and fly away, because she was so unwelcoming and so cold and so cruel. It doesn't really get to the meat of who made who cry. But that will be a misunderstanding, a cultural misunderstanding. It wasn't really the way you thought. Gaslighting with that Six of Swords in reverse. And that's what narcissists do, or people who are allegedly narcissists. They gaslight. I've been on the receiving end of it. No, you didn't hear me right. You didn't listen to me. And it's all your fault. So that's gaslighting. That's narcissists. What's the truth, actually, of what happened? I want to know. We got the Lovers in reverse. The Lovers is, of course, about partnerships. It's about more than just a romantic couples and things like that. It's more that she split people apart with the Lovers in reverse. Two things, of course, she made some very toxic choices, very negative choices, Meghan Markle, but she split people apart, and of course the people she split apart were the two brothers. Forced them apart, forced a wedge between them to try and separate them. I also think she tried to separate other couples. I think she tried to separate Charles and Camilla, and I think she tried to separate William and Catherine, and I think she tried very hard to do that, and everyone saw it. And there is a final energy with the Lovers card in reverse. That's Prince Philip. And we know that the minute Meghan Markle arrived officially in the royal family, not even married, Prince Philip retired from public life. And I think that there is something in here about that as well. That she was the cause of a lot of unhappiness in the royal family, a lot of separation, a lot of, it's Gemini card, that's why I'm talking about Prince Philip, if I didn't mention that. It's Major Arcana, Gemini card, one of them. So she was big trouble. She was seriously big trouble. You couldn't trust her around your partner. You couldn't trust her in the Heads Together Foundation. You couldn't trust her in your private apartments. She might be filming, Page of Swords in reverse. She was just untrustworthy and dodgy and making very toxic choices. How about the bullying thing? What is Meghan going to say about that? The bullying of her staff allegations. The Three of Pentacles, we were all working together so well. It's teamwork, it's collaboration. I was just very excited to be working with this new team. I came in, I'm American. We don't keep normal office hours. We're very hard working. It's go, go, go. Gonna be arriving. I can't remember what the expression is because I go blank when I do these readings. But you know, coming into a flying start kind of thing. It's not going to be a slow start. Can't remember what the exact expression she used was. But it's there in the Three of Pentacles. We were just working. We were a happy team. I bought them ice cream. They loved me. They adored me. But we were working. We were focused on our work. What's the truth? Love to see that report. Hope one day it comes out. Strengths. She tested them. The Strengths card is about... and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it here because it's Harry and Meghan card, and it's quite a bit of a toxic energy in these royal readings. For me as a reader, if I'm reading on just normal, regular people, regular situations, I would never say this. But the Strengths card is about mastering your base instincts, your animal nature. It has the potential here for bullying. It does, even though it's upright, because there she is leaning on that poor lion, dominating it, controlling it. It's supposed to be about taming, which is a bit unfortunate. You know, old world kind of view of our wild nature and wild animals. But there she is kind of exploiting the institution, which is also the lion, the royalty, the royal family, the British public, very lion and the symbology of everything British, the kingdom. There she's taking advantage of it and exploiting it. And I think that it's exploitation in here. She challenged them, and they really had to either step up or step out, because of this challenging energy of this slightly dominant, slightly bossy. It's Leo energy, and I always feel wretched when I talk about Leos in these readings because it makes some of them out to be terrible, and of course they are not. We just have one rather unfortunate example here with Meghan Markle, and that's why everyone is so fascinated by it, because we've got another Leo in the royal family, Princess Anne, quite the opposite. But I'm getting this sense of throwing her weight around, bossing people, taking advantage of situations, taking advantage of their loyalty, their strength, their faith, their devotion, all those things. Curious energy coming off this card. So outcome, is she going to hit the buffers with this? Is she going to get herself into legal trouble by printing these things that she's allegedly contemplating doing? We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. That's not illegal trouble so much as disappointment, terrible disappointment. And it could be that she gets a big no, that people go through the text. Obviously lawyers, publishers, lawyers are going to be on it, going to be saying, you can't write that, you can't write that, you can't write that, you can't write that. There's disappointment here with the Ace of Cups in reverse. Disappointment for her. I think she thought that she was going to write all this stuff, publish all these things, print all these private correspondence, well, in a work environment, but really, and that people were going to love her and forgive her and everything was going to be great afterwards. But I don't think so with that Ace of Cups in reverse. I think it's going to be stopped, and she's not going to get her way, and she's not going to get her side of the story out. She's not going to be allowed to. Which she thinks is going to solve everything, and she blames everyone else, of course, because that's also what narcissists do, blame everyone else for their own wrongdoings. And if they only heard her side of the story for the 12 millionth time, then everybody would love and adore her and everything would be great and she'd get that deal or contract after all. Is she going to be stopped? Is the book going to be cancelled or delayed? Is it literally going to be stopped? I'm already seeing stop energy here with the Ace of Cups in reverse, but is it officially going to be stopped? No book. Two of Cups in reverse looks like it. A partnership that splits here. It could literally be stopped, not for legal reasons, because I'm not seeing Justice card, I'm not seeing Judgment or the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords or any of those kinds of things that I would expect when we're talking legal matters or Tower or Death or any of those quite harsh cards. This is a breaking apart of a partnership. A publisher might say, you've broken the deal, or we're not going to go through with this because it's just not what we're looking for. Ace of Cups in reverse. It's too sour, it's too bitter, it's too toxic, it's too difficult for us to publish, and so we are going to step away and we are not going to publish it. I'm seeing that kind of energy. Just ask the tarot, are there going to be legal ramifications? Because I'm getting slightly different energy here. Is she going to get herself into legal trouble? Are people going to send lawyers' letters? We often see lawyers' letters with Meghan Markle. Who's sending them? Are people going to get busy now? They've obviously been warned. The word is out that this is going to happen. If Neil Sean's talking about it, are letters going out that are blocking her? Is this what's going on? Is this what the disappointment is? I want to know. I want to see some sort of sign of legal something. Just to clarify. Let's see. We got the Two of Swords. That's possible legal action because it's swords and it's decisions. And it's justice is blind. So there is justice and the potential in here. We got the Moon, which is confusion, doubt, not knowing which way to turn, which way to go. She's going to find herself challenged and at a crossroads with this. Or should she proceed or not? Which road should she go down? If she goes down the road of printing all these things, then she might find herself in some terrible trouble. If she decides not to write these things, she might also find herself in terrible trouble because it might be so boring and so dull that no one wants to read it anyway. But I see, so that is definitely a warning shot fired somewhere, I think, behind the scenes with that Two of Swords, that she's aware that she has potential trouble on her hands with that. But this is more disappointment and her disappointment, and then the separation. Could be divorce, of course, that the divorce could happen, and then the book has got to be a whole different book, because then she's got to do the dirty with him. Oh, not that, I don't mean it like that. She's got to write the book that tells what a terrible marriage she had, rather than how awful the royal family were, and Catherine in particular. So she might have to stop and start again and write something different. Interesting one we're going to have to watch. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.